Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, hello. My name is Lance. I'm going to be your host today of 20-Minute Trader TV. If this is your first time joining us, so glad to have you. If you've been here before, welcome back. Got an exciting episode for you guys today. Now, before we get started, just going to cover a couple of things. Now, the reason I am here today is because Jeremy Russell, our founder, had asked me to do some live trading, being a 20-minute trader myself, to show you guys an over-the-shoulder look of what the system actually looks like, the type of trades that we take on a daily basis, and then of course to answer any of your guys' questions as we go through it. Now, if you've been seeing some videos on social media or you've just been hearing about it from your friends, what exactly is 20-minute trading? 20-minute trader, very simply put, really we define it as a movement of trading. It's where beginners / non-traders have been able to get into the markets really in ways that they weren't quite able to before. Most trading systems out there will require some fancy software, require you to learn a very technical strategy and be on the charts for hours and hours a day. Our system throws all of that out of the window, where you only need to be on the charts for about 20 to 30 minutes per day. Don't need any fancy software. You just need a simple internet connection. And we're not looking for any crazy technical analysis style trades. We're simply looking for a repeatable pattern, very simple, over and over again, trading the exact same thing each and every day. So we're going to get into that. Now, today marks the second day of our second week of our zero to payout challenge using a prop firm evaluation account. We're going to get into all of the details on how that looks, what I'm looking for, and why I use a prop firm as well. But right now, we are a little bit negative in our account. So you guys are on the journey for seeing the ups and downs through everything that I am doing, from starting from absolutely zero to potentially getting a payout in a couple of weeks' time. So our goal for the end of the week is to make about $1,000 per week, right? So that's what we're on track for right now. So we're going to hope to continue that streak. So we're going to jump onto these charts here, do some live trading, and then I'm going to bring on a very special guest here as well. So stay tuned for that. Now, getting onto the charts, you'll see I have a couple of lines here. We're going to go through it here. Now, we are on tradingview.com as my charting and trading platform. We are on 1 second time frame charts. Now, if you've been trading before, that may seem extremely crazy, extremely fast, but the reason why we need to do that is because we're looking for very precise movements, very small scalp style trades, if you will. So if we're on a higher time frame, we're simply not going to be able to catch those movements, right? We are trading in the futures market. We're not trading stocks, options, crypto, simply trading in the futures market. You don't really need to know exactly what futures trading is as a whole, but just know that the futures market is open pretty much 23 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So being a 20-minute trader, you can trade at any time of the day that the market's open. So if you want to trade early morning, that's great. If you want to trade with me here, perfect. And if you even want to trade later at night, you totally can as well. So we have two lines on my chart here. The blue line here is going to be representative of the value of the S&P 500 futures contract, or if you're a trader out there, it would be MES as the ticker symbol. Now, S&P 500 is just a combination of the top 500 performing companies there. Now, the orange line is going to be the Dow Jones, which is going to be the value of an average of the top 30 blue chip stocks, right? So just big companies, we want to see the average of those values there. So you'll see these blue and orange trend lines. That's just an indicator to help me see which way they've been moving over an average period of time, which way they've been trending rather. So those two lines are all I'm looking for. I'm looking for the relationship between the blue line and the orange line. So we'll get into that in a second here. But I'm actually going to be buying and selling the blue line. All right, so we're not actually trading the Dow, we're just using it for comparison. Now this white line here is going to be another indicator known as the RSI. That is going to be the relative strength index. You don't need to go into all the technicals there, all the math, but just know that if the movements are larger in the market to the upside, this white line will be in the top half, and then vice versa, it will be on the bottom half if the downward movements are stronger. All right, so all we're looking for on our trend lines here, our indicator, is just the difference in movement between the orange and the blue lines. Right, so we see now that currently they are moving parallel. All I want to see is from these lines, one to be going up the other to be going down, one to be going up, one to be going flat. I just need them to be going in different directions. So until that happens, we're just hanging out. Feel free to put any introductory questions that you may have. Be happy to go through them. And yeah, we're going to get into it. Now, my trading plan is as before, right? We're planning to only take 3 to 4 trades per day, risking about 150, maybe 200 per trade, and only, of course, trading S&P 500 futures. Now, we just had a huge drop of the market. Not sure where that was from. That's interesting. So that could shake things up. So we'll see what happens here. Let me check the chats. What's going on, Jim? How are you? Good to see you. All right. So as this is kind of moving crazy here, we're going to wait for a signal. But like I said, just to let you guys know, my account here, right now I'm using Apex Trader Funding, is a prop firm. We'll kind of get into that down the road. But this account started at $50,000, and that didn't require me to put $50,000 in my own capital. It required a very small fee, only about $35 to get access to a potential $50,000 in funding. So if that sounds crazy to you and that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. We're going to get into all of that. But my point being is that we are currently negative, right? So we're down about $250 in this account. That's totally fine. That's really just 1 or 2 trades to come back from. Our goal along this journey is to get that from 50 all the way up to 53,000. Then from there, we will have access to the real capital to where we can hopefully get a payout. So until then, we are just simply trading our evaluation. All prop firms are doing is they just want to test traders to see if they actually know how to trade consistently with good risk management. If they are able to do that and prove themselves, make the 3,000, then the prop firm will say, okay, here's the real capital, go make us some money, because they usually take 10% of profits, you keep 90. So that's kind of how they make money on the losers as well as the winners. So it is a very, very good business for them, but also for us, right? Because we can leverage a $35 investment to get to a $50,000 account, to where we can potentially, take payouts from that if we are consistent. All right. So what we see here, we see the blue line going flat and the orange line going down. So what does this tell me? Well, it simply tells me that I think that the blue line wants to continue to push higher. Now they are going relatively parallel here, so I am going to just hold off for now. But I would like for them to kind of form like a Pac-Man style shape mouth there. I just want to see them going in completely different directions. If S&P is going down, you go into sell. So kind of, in a sense, right? So whichever way the blue line is pointing is the way that I want to be trading. So if the blue line's pointing up like it is now, I want to look for a long trade, which means that we're betting on price going up after we buy. And the cool thing is that we can go long or short, make money if the price goes up or down, depending on which way we trade. So we're not limited to news or whatever's going on in the market or a higher time frame trend. I see 5 seconds. How do you get 1 second? Yeah, so if you only have 5-second charts, you may not have the full subscription to TradingView. You do need premium subscription there. So that's what I have. You'll see on the top left, it says 1 second charts there for me. So they're still pretty much moving parallel. These are some crazy movements, guys. During times like this, it may be best to kind of sit on our hands, so to speak, and just wait for the market to calm down. There could be some news coming out with I don't even know, right? There could be something overseas. Who knows? Something could be going on that we're just not quite aware of. So at that point, it may be best just to hold off and wait for the market to kind of slow down to some normalcy. How do you get the lines to move? What are they called? So the lines are updating in real time based on the market price, right? So when the lines go up and down, it simply just means people in the live markets are actually trading those, right? Buying and selling. Now the blue line is going to be the S&P 500 futures, and then the orange line is going to be the Dow Jones. Yeah, there are some big swings, guys. This is crazy. So overall, the market's been pushing down for the last couple of hours. So we see the blue line popping down, orange line coming on up. So at that point, that was a very quick spike up. I think I may have missed my entry there. Yeah, looks like I missed my entry. Such a spike up. All I was looking for at that point was a little pop-up of the RSI of this white line. I wasn't quite quick enough to get that because it's a huge spike up, but that's okay. The idea was correct. Dropped on down pretty nice. What does it mean when you say the futures? Yeah, so the futures market, think of it, most people when they trade futures, they're trading long term, right? So they're agreeing to buy the S&P 500 for a price in the future, right? So at a certain date, they're pretty much, they have the option to or required to buy for that price. We don't have to worry about any of that complicated stuff because we are trading it for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. So all the intricacies of the futures market doesn't really apply to our system, which is good, right? We don't have to worry about a lot of moving parts. We just have to buy low, sell high using our system. So we're still just looking for a trade here, right? Typically, we've been able to get 3 or 4 trades every session so far, the past week and a half of doing this. So I think we can get two or three trades here. Just got to be patient. All right, so we see the blue line staying flat, orange line going down. So this could be a potential long trade. It is tough to want to bet on price going up, seeing how much price has been going down over the last couple of hours. But in any sense, we're simply just waiting. Yeah, huge sell-offs. How are you doing trade? Yeah, so when I'm looking to place the trade, since I have my prop firm account connected, all I'm going to do is either click this blue button if I want price to go up, hit the red button if I want price to go down. So we haven't taken a trade yet. We are simply just waiting. To understand risk, I want to ask your profitability track record. Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to check out our students overall and just the average profitability and success rate, definitely head over to our website or our Trustpilot to look at typical results. Over a long period of time, it's hard to speak on our, my personal things. So definitely just go over there to the website just to look at typical results, just to give you a better idea of what it looks like over a larger pool of people. With a dip, yeah, a little bit different there, Sylvester. With the dip between 1309 and 1310, another opportunity. Yeah, so I didn't see a difference in direction in the lines there. So ideally, right, what we're seeing here is the orange line go flat as the blue line is kind of pushing up. Right, so they're starting to go in different directions. We're just not quite seeing it as strong as we would like. Now, keep in mind, you can trade at any time of the day. So sometimes at this area of the session, price can move a little bit slower, can be a little bit more unpredictable, at least from my experience, as opposed to something like the morning session when just there's more people trading. So I'm not saying this session is bad. There's just more opportunity for price to move a little bit slower. Maybe we might be in the trades a little bit longer and so forth, but yes, we are trading on a 1 second time frame. So very, very quick movements, but we need to be in and out of trades within a few seconds to maybe a minute or two. All right, so we're just waiting here. As we're waiting here for the markets to pan out, I think this might be a good time to bring on our guests here. We can kind of talk over the charts together, give you an insight as to what another 20-minute trader has been through, how they're doing. So yeah, I mean, Kyle, if you want to come on stage here.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, Lance?
So this here is my good friend Kyle Draper here. He's been a 20-minute trader as well for a good amount of time, so let him kind of go over his experience. You guys can ask him any questions, and yeah, we'll kind of talk over the charts here.
Yeah, looking at the charts, I was just looking. It looks like this volume's coming because of our talks have paused with Iran. So kind of explains the volatility. So not a bad idea to kind of sit this out until it calms down. But yeah, so I joined 20-minute trader about 2.5 years ago. I've been doing it ever since. I love it. I love the idea of just looking at a pattern, keep it simple, not having complex indicators and all this other stuff. So it's a very simplified version that I really enjoy and allows me to just make trades every, 20, 30 minutes a day, get in, get out, and move on to whatever I got to do. So it's been a great process for sure.
So what we see at the moment is we see the blue line popping on up, see the orange line kind of staying flat, right? So what I want to see is a little pop down. So there's a little pop down. So I'm going to take this trade betting on price going higher, guys. So let's see if we can get that. Now, Kyle here, would you take this trade? Do you like this idea?
I mean, decent pattern. The volatility has me a little concerned, but I love how it's kind of resisting going down. So
Right. Yeah, it could be tough taking a trade during this time, right? But I saw the blue line pushing up, the orange line going down. I just waited for the RSI to give me a little bit of a signal there, right? Pop down a little bit. And then I took the entry. So you'll see here that price is going against us. If it hits this line down here, which it just did, that is my stop loss. All right, so the reason why we have a stop loss so that if it hits that, worst case scenario, it closes me out for a small loss. Instead of hoping and holding, I just took the trade for a loss. It seems like just not ideal rather conditions to be trading. So yeah, very unfortunate there. And above, I had my take profit line. So if it hit that, it would have closed me out for a profit. Just seems like whatever news that came out across the world is not in favor of the US. So that's typically what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, but a good thing is, you can't win them all, right? I think this shows that there's nothing out there that's 100% win rate, and I think showing that you can lose, that's part of trading. That's the real world. So
I see a question here. What time are you trading? I'm from South Africa, so time zones are very different. Well, very good, very good. Yeah, so like I said, you can trade at any time of the day. So if you're at a different part of the world and the time makes more sense to trade at night, right? Like US time, if it was later in the evening, that might be somebody's morning or mid-afternoon. So that's totally fine. Like I said, the market is open 23 hours a day, right? Typically for Monday through Friday. So you can trade at any time while it's open. Alan, maybe a dumb question. No dumb questions here, my friend, but how do you get the lines to show up on your screen? Yes, I mean, if anyone is watching and they want to get their chart set up and you're just interested in how do we take these trades, and you just want to get some more info, feel free to comment the word more. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, we'll send you an absolutely free ticket to our web class coming up. If you're on YouTube or Twitch or any other platform, click the link in the description. If you want to know how we can set up those charts and just kind of be a 20-minute trader, let us help you with that.
Got a lot of downward pressure going on right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, if we look back, we can just see overall it's had its upswings, but it's really just been down. So, in this scenario, what I would be looking for is the blue line to be pointing down and the orange line to go flat or point up, meaning that the blue line is more likely to push lower, right? So that's kind of what we're starting to see here. If we can finalize that, that would be amazing. Blue line pushing down, as we know. Just need that orange line to pop up. All right, so now we kind of see that, right? We see them going in separate directions. So, I mean, all I'm looking for at this point is a little pop up of the RSI to jump in, which I'm going to take is right there. Okay, I made a terrible mistake, I think. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close
you're
out.
you're trying to go short and you went long.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. I hit the wrong button, folks. I'm human. Don't kill me. I hit the wrong button, Kyle distracted me. Okay, but no, so I was looking for a short. Thankfully I jumped, well, maybe not thankfully, but I would have taken a winner there, but that was not my ideal trade. So yes, we are just going to shake that up to a human error. All right, so really nothing happened on that trade. We kind of exited out at even. Take that for what it's worth. So we've really taken one trade. I'm not going to count that because nothing really happened. Still looking for another one. Just such big swings. If you guys have been here before, we haven't seen this amount of movement in the market like that. We've really only seen S&P drop a couple of points here and there, but these are really large swings. Even for like a New York Open, meaning like at 9:30 Eastern, this would still be considered very large swings. So this may be a day in the journey where you guys see me just kind of walk away from the markets without taking a lot of trades.
Yep. And I think this is important too, is, knowing and having discipline of knowing when not to trade, right? Everything's kind of synced up, big moves. If you're uncomfortable, you don't actually have to force a trade.
Yeah. But don't worry, we're going to throw everything that Kyle just said out of the window because there is a trade popping up. All right, so we have the blue line coming down, the orange line pushing on up. So all I want to see at this point in time, I just want to see the blue line and the RSI kind of pop up just a little bit. Should be right there. So I'm going to bet on price going down, right? So you see I have my take profit, which will be down below, which means that if price gets to that level, it will close me out for a win. And my stop loss is up here. If it goes up there, it will close me out for a loss. I really like this trade. Overall, the trend, right, has been going down. We see a clear relation. Do we see the difference here? Right? Blue line down, orange line going flat. So that's telling me that ideally, the market wants to push down with that kind of pressure. And if we don't get there, it's totally fine.
You just blame me.
Yeah, there we go. Tough one there. All right. So we've taken 2 losses so far. I don't think today we're just not one of those days for us. With the news coming out, market's just too volatile. It's not our typical conditions. So I can't really expect to see the exact same movements that I would when there's no war news coming out. Not seeing where your buys and sells are. Yeah, so I'm taking them live, right? So you'll see here you see kind of these arrows here as well. This would be my entry point. That was my exit. So they're definitely there. So on this account, we're at 49,483. So we're still not in the green in terms of our account. All right, now again, Apex Trader Funding is just a prop firm that's willing to give me the capital if I can hit 53,000. If you want to get a pretty nice discount on Apex Trader Funding, you can use any prop firm out there, by the way. But many of our students use Apex Trader Funding, including myself, as you can see. Feel free to use code 20MT, 20MT at checkout. That would help us for sure, give some back to the mentors to do their great work each and every day in the community. But that will get you 90% off currently, which is a huge sale, of course. Right, so at that point, you can get a 50K account for just over $30. Pretty wild. So that's how we're able to not use a ton of our own capital, really little to none, to be able to access large amounts of capital as well to leverage our profits. Do you use Apex right now, Kyle? Have you been using them?
Yeah, lately I've been using Apex. I would say that the two that I've been using a lot of recently are Top Step and Apex, but most recently probably Apex as of right now.
Yeah. The cool thing with Apex, they've actually kind of been a little more competitive to where most prop firms, they'll take 10% of your profits, which is still very generous. But they're actually letting you keep 100% of all your profits. So they don't take anything. Now you might be thinking, how does that make any sense? Well, you gotta remember the majority of folks aren't quite making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the people that are paying the prop firm challenges over and over again without making payouts, those people are paying for them to stay in business, so to speak, right? So that's why they're willing to do that, at least for the time being. So it might be a great time to get started. So we see the blue line coming down, orange line staying flat. So what does that mean for me? Blue line most likely wants to pop down. I just want to see a pop up of the white line here, my RSI. And then I would be looking for price to continue down further. So we'll see if we get that here. Still, we see the very clear difference in direction of the lines there. So that's like exactly what we want to see. All right, so I'm going to take my trade right there, guys. So all we want is price to go down. I don't think the market's going to be so mean to us that it's going to have us lose 3 trades today. If it does, that's just rude. That is just rude. What do you think of this setup? A little better here, Kyle?
Yeah, I do like it. I do like downward pressure still.
Yeah. So we're coming on down. Oh man, we are right there, guys.
Almost.
It kissed it. It's playing with our emotions here. Oh man, it's so close. There we go. All right. So 100-ish bucks on that one. That's all we're looking for, right? How do I know it was going to drop down from that exact point? Well, Kyle shot me a very secret text that I got. No, I'm just kidding. But based on the pressure, right, based on the relationship between the blue and the orange lines, that's how I'm able to predict, right, with high probability, in my opinion, that the blue line would continue so long as we got our little pop-up of the RSI, right? So just a clear example, right? Not all trades are going to be winners, but over time, if we can stick to a risk management plan, we should, at least we'll see here on my journey, how that would impact us, right? Sticking to our plan, only taking quality setups. And we see the market slow down a little bit, right? We're not seeing these ginormous spikes anymore. We're seeing more of a steady flow, and that's where our strategy usually does better.
And what's your trade plan right now? How many trades are you allowing yourself to do?
Max of 4, so we're at 3. So we got one more in the tank potentially.
Pretty close to what mine is.
What's yours at?
No more than 3 trades max in a day.
Gotcha. Yeah, I put 3 to 4.
Yeah,
I
think the hardest part is actually sticking to those plans, right? Yeah. I think that's where the emotions can kick in. If you actually can follow through with it, it'll help you out in the long run.
Yeah. All right, so hopefully we can get one more trade here. We see the blue line pushing up, orange line staying flat. So what does that mean, Kyle?
Going long.
Right, we're going long, right? We're betting on price potentially going higher. So all we want to see is a nice little pop down for us of this little helpful white line.
Sometimes that happens where it misses your entry point. It just keeps going.
100%. We still see the relationship. It's kind of dissipating a little bit, but we still, well, maybe not so much anymore. We would need the orange line to come down quite a bit. So at this point, they're relatively parallel. So at this point, the trade idea, we might have missed it, but We're not fully giving up on it, right? Because it still could pan out. The orange line could flatten out, and then the blue line could give us an entry. So let's see if we get that. On that last trade, from Full Moon Studios, my take profit line was actually at the bottom. So as you saw, as soon as the blue line kind of crossed that line at the bottom, since I was betting on price going down, it closed this out for 120-ish bucks profit. Okay, big spike down. Now, unfortunately, we're just not seeing the orange line go in a different direction. That would have been a potential entry point for me had the orange line been correct.
Now, question for you: do you like to manage your trades at any point in time? Will you bring it to like your stop loss to break even, or do you just like to let the trade play out, trail, try to gain more?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was managing slightly. I am one to just let it play out usually. Um, but it depends. I mean, if we bounced off the same point a couple of times, maybe I'll move it to break even. If I'm going against the trend, maybe. So, like in this example, or no, there hasn't really been an example there yet. But yeah, I like to just let it play out. So we see the blue line coming up, orange line coming down very clearly, folks, right? So all we're waiting for, I wonder if we missed another entry there. All
My
we're waiting
distraction.
for, yeah, you're good. All we're waiting for is the RSI to pop on down. See if we can catch that for a long and end off the day maybe slightly above break even, give or take. All right, let's see if we can get another $100. I'm gonna click the correct button, guys, this time, I promise.
The
You would
blue
think,
pill or
right?
the red pill?
Yeah, you would think you trade every day, you would know which button to press, but
I promise you, people do this all the time. Well, not
all right.
all the time, but it happens.
Yeah. I was stuck in the heat of the moment. So all I'm looking for, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get it.
I don't think so either. That was
Yeah,
some good move.
that was it right there. But do we see how, right, the blue line's up, orange line's down? It's like showing that the blue line wants to pop up. We're just not quite getting our drop down before we jump in, right? We don't want to buy high and try and sell higher. You never heard that before, right? There's a reason why. We want to try and buy low and sell high. That's all we're doing. So where the white line is, that's your line for take profit. So the white line I'm referring to is this one down here, which is the RSI. That's really determining where we enter, or like at what time we enter pretty much. The take profit lines we'll see hopefully on the next trade. You'll be able to see just two horizontal lines on my chart. So not necessarily this white line here. Now the cool thing with these prop firms again, right? Of course, one $50,000 account sounds really nice, but with Apex specifically, you can have up to 20 prop firm accounts all at $50,000 a piece. So if we do the math, that would be $1 million in prop firm funding. Can you imagine going to like a birthday party or your friend's house and saying, I have $1 million in trading capital? That's pretty cool. So if you're interested in how do I scale prop firms like that, how do I do that? Now that's more advanced, right? So that wouldn't really happen day one, but there is potential for that. So that $100 I just made could be 20x, right? To be 2,000. Now that could be 2,000 red if I lost, but there is potential for that. Have you ever had 20 accounts, Kyle?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so like it's something that's like it's always seems really good, but sometimes it is hard to manage, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I think, and I think for me, it's more of the emotions. I can be I can do the revenge trading. So when that happens, I don't want to do it across 20 accounts. So I like to
yeah,
trade per account.
right. Yeah, there's different approaches for sure. I am usually of the opposite mindset. I like to have a lot of accounts copying. Now that definitely has its pros and cons, but and it also requires an investment. It also requires you to put some money into all these accounts. So it's not the easiest thing, but like I said, when you get some more confidence, you can definitely do that. Now, yeah, we don't really want to go short there.
I know. I saw you were itching to press that red button.
Yeah, I was getting a little greedy. So we saw the orange line staying flat, blue line pushing on up. You know what? I'm still looking for this trade. I like it. All right, so that's my entry line. Just looking for a little pop up of the RSI.
Yeah, the bad fill.
Yeah, I gotta love trading view sometimes. So all we're looking for is a pop down. As you see here, my take profit is down below. Stop loss is right up top. So blue line pointing down, orange line pointing up. Saw the RSI give us a little spike up, and we are looking for price to push on down. So we're almost there. Not really, but we're almost there.
Now, had you gotten a good fill, it would have been pretty good.
Yeah, and when he says fill, by the way, sometimes there are slight delays. And when I click the order and where it actually goes, so you see this red arrow is where I click the button, but my order actually put it down here, meaning that it kind of went against us since we're going short. All right, so we're currently in the red. No reason to panic just yet.
There's some wild moves.
Yeah, right.
Come on down.
Need one big spike down, one big push. And this will be the last and final trade of the day, sticking to that max trade plan. So if we can all manifest price to go down right now together, let's do that. Made $140 today from Geo. Let's go. Love to hear it. Great job. That's amazing. That is amazing. Good work. All right. So we're out of that trade for a loss. So we're just
Bank now.
yeah, we're on the wrong side of that one. Yeah, so probably should have went in here. Hindsight 2020 as always, right? But yeah, that's okay. Thought it was a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, gave what the people wanted. They come here to watch us kind of trade. Just unfortunately, a lot of politics playing right now.
Oh, look at that, guys.
Wow, that is crazy.
Oh, man.
What's the news? Something just happened. Let's see.
That is crazy. Yeah, so I mean, that's what we're dealing with today, folks. Welcome to the stock market 2026. Huge spikes, huge spikes.
I mean, I know we have a speaker spoke at 1:30. I wonder if he said something.
Interesting. Yeah, because the market was pushing down and then it just completely flipped right before then.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
Yeah, FOMC member Waller was speaking at 1:30 today.
Gotcha. All right. So, what was your loss? Yeah, for the day, we are down 280. So, not crazy, right? Since our risk is like 150-ish per trade, that's 2 winning trades. We'll be back. But yeah, we are in the red for today. Unfortunately, had a couple of losing days, the last couple of days, and that happens as a trader, right? It's about how can we withstand those? How can we weather the storm? So that when we are starting to make those wins, do we have our accounts in good standing? Yes, right? Because I'm following a plan, not just taking hundreds and hundreds of trades, which is possible if you're trading all day. Is that a bad thing? Not always, but it tends to lead to some bad habits, in my opinion. So Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of cap off the trading there, but let me see if anyone has any other questions. How long have you been trading on this platform? Do you have experience prior to that? So on TradingView, I have about 3 years experience, but if you're talking about 20-minute trader, personally, I had no prior trading experience. Kyle was pretty much the opposite.
Yeah, I was.
Kyle had a ton of trading experience, which is not typical from our students. We find a lot of students are beginners or slight amateurs, right? It's kind of what the system was created for. But I myself had zero trading experience before this. But yeah, that was about 2.5 years ago, give or take. Pretty much the same as Kyle, a little longer.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been trading 20 years prior to joining 20-minute trader as a trader, and my experience where I had a lot of ups and downs. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, felt like I got nowhere, didn't have any kind of plan in place, and then when I came across 20-minute trader, just be able to stick to a pattern and actually sticking with one strategy, I found it really helped me out, not only like financially, but also like mentally too. Not going in between different types of strategies and finding the new shiny car out there. So yeah, it's been a good time.
Yeah. How do you set your TP and stop loss targeting a 1-to-1? Yeah, great question. So typically we are targeting a 1-to-1. All that means for you non-traders out there just means that our stop loss and our take profit are of equal value. So if I'm risking $100, that means I will also make $100. And now thankfully to TradingView, you can preset that. So when I click this button, you'll see it automatically get placed. And if you guys need help with that, we are more than happy to help you. If you just want to comment the word more, if you're on Instagram and Facebook, if you want to learn how do I access large amounts of capital with low of my own capital, low invest my own capital. If you want to learn how 20-minute trading really looks on a larger scale, feel free to comment the word more. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, we'll DM you an absolutely free ticket to our upcoming web class. And if you're on YouTube or Twitch or any other platform, click the link in the description and you will claim your absolutely free ticket to the web class. You can get your questions answered live there. Um, so yeah, we've been trading here for 25-ish minutes. That's typically where I say, okay, I've won or I've lost. I don't want to be on the charts. I don't want to get over emotional. Kind of the whole point is to do your trading and move on with your day, right? So as is what we're pretty much going to do here in about a few minutes. See if we have any other questions. Yeah, so do you set a 10 pip stop loss? So pips are a little bit different. In the futures world, it's called ticks. So very similar pip tick. But yeah, I'd be using ticks on futures. But you get the idea.
Man.
Yeah, this thing is crazy. This is wild. If this is your first time here, I promise you, this is not what normally happens in terms of like the movements like this. So if this is at all intimidating, please come back the next couple of days. Obviously, I can't guarantee that it won't be like this until the war or whatever settles down, what's going on. But yeah, this is not
You picked a
typical.
bad day to have me come on. Makes me look terrible.
Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault. Man, yeah, like, yeah.
That's crazy movement.
Yeah, the movements, at least from my experience over the last couple of years, are just, it kind of just chops up and down. It moves in a nice direction. But we don't have these crazy spikes unless something's going on. So definitely want you guys to keep coming back, following along the journey here. So feel free to check back in next couple of days or even maybe in a couple of weeks to just see where are we at. Have we made some profit? Have we taken a payout? I believe we will in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Yeah, Kyle, do you have any kind of words of wisdom for anyone?
Yeah, I mean, if you're new to trading, right? I think a lot. I mean, everybody starts somewhere. I think 20-minute trader is great because it gives you something to strategize with, look at a simple pattern, and get into those trades. I think it's an awesome program. Great mentors out there as well. And it's just something fun to do. You don't have to spend hours and hours every single day trying to do it. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Thanks for having me. Hopefully next time I come back, you can go 4 for 4 on winning trades. I brought the bad juju, but again, I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll be here tomorrow. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys.